Hello everyone, let's get started with our next tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be giving an overview of HANA Studio. What is an HANA Studio? Basically, HANA Studio is a tool from where you can do the modeling on HANA database. So let me show you how HANA Studio looks like. So this is an icon for the HANA Studio. Let's double click on this HANA Studio. So this is basically an interface through which we interact with the HANA database. On the extreme left side, you will see the Navigator tab, where the different systems you can manage multiple HANA systems from this particular HANA Studio. So each, say HN1 you can see here, HN2 is here, HN3 is here. These are the HANA databases to which we are connecting and performing modeling there. Okay, on the right side you can see different perspectives are available. So let me show you what all perspectives are available. And so to start with, let me close all the perspective that is there. If you click on open perspective, go to the window, click on open perspective, click on other. Okay, so this will show you the different perspectives which are available in HANA Studio. So let me start with the first one. First one is administration console. So what it is used for and how it looks like, let me show you that. So let's double click that, and you can click on any of the HANA servers and just double click on that particular HANA system. On the right side you have the admin interface. So admin interface is basically used for managing the resources on the system, on the HANA database, which is used for identifying any performance issues, any bottlenecks, any different usage for the database, for the memory, for the CPU. So that's what is HANA Studio's admin interface is used for. Let me go to the next perspective. So let's again click on window, click on open perspective, and click on other. So let's go to the next most important perspective, which is the modeler. All the modeling is done here. Okay, so let me double click on the modeler perspective, and the canvas changes to this particular interface where you have different activities you can perform on this particular modeler. The key activities is creating different HANA models of different types, like you can create your attribute views to create the different dimension tables. You can create analytic views. Basically you can, in analytic views, you can create a star schema, connect different dimension table and the facts table. Then you can create more complex things like calculations view, where you can perform different calculations. And lastly, on the procedures, you can have complicated stored procedures defined and created there. Okay, so that is on the different modeling aspect of it. Let's see what else is available here. Okay, what we can do is we can, at the center you can see the data. So data, there are three different things that is available. One is the SQL editor. So in SQL editor you can run the SQL command. So this is basically the HANA SQL editor which is there. So let me show you how this particular HANA SQL editor is. Okay, so here you can see this is a SQL editor where you can perform SQL related activities. Okay, so let's go to the next tab, which is the data provisioning tab. Here at the center you can see this is the data provisioning tab. So data provisioning tab is basically used for connecting different interfaces. So probably let's try to connect to one of the system there, and let's change the system. Say let me change to this HN2, and let's click on data provisioning tab. So here what we do is, here basically we have the source systems. It could be an ECC system, it could be any of the SAP or non-SAP system which is sending the data to the target schema in HANA database. And here we can have the different schemas created and different replication can be configured here. So that is on the data provisioning aspect of it. Then next is the generated time data. So here you can have load data into the different tables, that is from this time to this time we can load the data using this particular interface. Okay, next thing is on the setup. On the left side in the modular window you can see manage preferences. So this is where you define your general preferences. So how this particular modular the HANA Studio interface looks like, all this can be defined from here. So you have general views where you can control your fonts and everything. You have admin views where you can define, say, the catalog size, how much data need to be fetched, how many rows to be fetched at one time, and you can create different templates as well. So that is on the administration view. You can define that, okay, you can do install or update using this particular install update. So you can configure automatic updates as well to the HANA database. Then you have the lifecycle management. Okay, in lifecycle management you can maintain your versioning and all. Okay, next thing is on the modular. Okay, in modular you can create different settings like data preview, how much data to be, how many rows to be retrieved at any point of time. You can define, okay, the logs, that is where to store these particular logs, how many logs to be shown. And then next is on the debug. Okay, so this is basically, it will show that during the debug on the console, if there is an error, how it should be shown, how many rows should be shown. So these are the things which can be defined in the preference window. Okay, so next thing is on configure import server. So this particular tab is basically for connecting this with data services. Okay, so data services is another aspect in SAP where you can define batch loads, that is at a periodic time you are loading the data into HANA database using data services. Okay, next thing is delivery units. You can define delivery units, and so this is where you can move the packages from one location to another location. Then you have the schema mapping. Okay, you can map the schema, that is what is the authoring schema and what is its mapping to the physical schema. Okay, on the extreme right side you can see these are the different things can be performed from here. Okay, you can validate the different objects, activate the objects, you can do export, import, migrate, and you can do automatic documentation as well. That is, suppose if you have created a model, you can click on auto documentation, it will create an automatic model for that particular object which is selected. Okay, say you can select an object like an attribute view, or you can select any of the table in the attribute view or any of the attribute view. So that is on the modular perspective. So let me go to the other perspectives quickly. So if you click on open perspective and click on other, it will show you all the different perspective available. So debug, as we discussed, is basically where the debug and runtime characteristics are defined. Then we have a resource perspective, team synchronization perspective. Okay, so when we are running any particular program, or when we are running or creating any model, then you can see this is the window where you have the different properties which is defined. Okay, so these are the different properties. Then the job logs, if suppose we are running a batch job, so all the job logs are defined here. Then this is the history tab, you can see where the history of the commands which is executed is shown here. Then progress is suppose how the particular activity is progressing. Okay, then we have a search option as well, where you can, on the extreme left side, this window where used list, so this is where we can do a search as well. Okay, so that's all in the overview that I wanted to cover. So here we can see different things that can be performed on the perspective. Okay, next thing is what I'll be covering is on the different systems which is connected. So on the left navigator, we can create different systems. If you right click, you can connect different HANA systems to the HANA Studio, and we can start managing those database using HANA Studio. That's all. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.